Hi everyone, my name's Kathy Jenkins and I'm a lecturer in teaching and learning at UNE. I was a teacher for a long time in public schools, and so I do have a background that tends to be quite relevant to the area I'm teaching in, which is the graduate teacher, which is about transitioning into the profession. I'd like to talk a little bit about how I try to motivate my students to learn about the areas I teach, and also to maintain their attention throughout the unit online. Firstly, I spend a little time getting to know the students. We interact, I ask them questions, we have welcoming messages. If they're hesitant to get involved, I do ask questions, so hopefully someone will answer and then a barrage will follow. And if I'm asking a question about the topics, their thoughts on things, I'll break down that topic so it's much easier for them to get involved. To actually maintain their attention, I'm very fortunate in the topics I teach because they're extremely relevant to students who are about to go out and become teachers and practice. So everything I do is authentic, whether it's the lectures, whether it's the assignments, or whether it's the forums. It's all about their future lives and practice. So what I do is I make sure that in the lecture slots, apart from giving them the theory, we also have people come in who are the people they will become. For example, there is a panel of teachers who they're in their first year out who are either working on temporary or full-time assignment. They talk about how they gained work. We also have casual teachers come in and talk about how they gained work and how they maintained it in probably just a few schools. We have people who have taught in the Northern Territory, Western Queensland and Western New South Wales that come in and talk about being posted to a rural or remote position. What happens there is they talk about not only the challenges but how they dealt with those challenges, and also the supports that they found and the positives of being a rural and remote teacher. We have YouTube videos and videos from AITSL which are really useful in giving students insights into how people deal with Indigenous students in rural and remote areas. As far as assessments and audio, assessments, we have multi-age lessons which are really useful in rural schools. We have an audio that students will then make as part of their assessment and provide for the principal who's wandered past their room and ask them to provide a rationale for what they're doing. We also have them interviewing teachers who've been in rural and remote areas, and therefore how they're going to plan to minimise any challenges they have and make the most of any supports they get. And lastly, we get them to think about accreditation, what evidence they're going to use, and also practice how they're going to annotate that evidence, which will mean that they'll become a proficient or accredited as a proficient teacher by the end of their first year.